How important is mindset on the path to getting rich or wealthy? We're going to have this conversation with the one and only Anna Kelly. How you doing, Anna?
I'm doing great. This is such an important topic, I think, in every area of life and especially in investing.
Yeah, let's get it. Because again, I think one of the things we need to realize is your mindset is always with you, right? You're walking around, you're at work, you're doing whatever you're doing, you have your mindset with you. And if you don't have that on point, or at least understand it, it really can be a hindrance moving forward. So when you think of how important it is, what do you say?
Yeah, I think it's critical. I think your mindset makes a difference between success and failure in just about everything. So you have to believe that better is possible in order to reach for better, whether that be your physical health, whether that be your job, whether that be your wealth building. You have to believe and have hope that the future is better. And I think those that don't rarely succeed. If you don't believe in yourself and you don't have hope for better, you fill your mind with negativity and why even bother? Things are not going to be better. That doesn't happen for people like me. I hear that kind of mindset over and over and over, and it's one of the things that, as much as I've done wealth consulting and real estate consulting, those that have that negative mindset, it's like you have to start there to rebuild that before you can get people to take the effort necessary to create wealth and a better future. So it's critical. It's probably foundational. The number one thing before you even talk about success is mindset.
Yeah, you've got to believe it's possible because again, anything worth having takes time. It often takes, longer than you think. It doesn't happen overnight. The other thing that I really come across this is you're going to have stumbles and trips and falls. And you can either look at those as speed bumps or gigantic walls. And if you don't have your mindset on point and understand that these are just opportunities to learn and improve, you're just going to sit down and stop making progress. And, it's kind of like, why bother? Right?
Yeah.
The mindset has to be on there that, yes, I'm going to get through this. Yes, I'm going to figure it out. Yes, this is a challenge and an unfortunate thing, but let's dust ourselves off, pick ourselves up and go around, go over, blow it up, whatever it is. And and again, I said in the opening, your mindset is with you wherever you are, right? It's
Yeah.
not only when you're working on the thing you want, but when you're watching a movie or you're walking your dog or whatever, if you don't have your mindset right, it can spiral quickly the other direction.
Absolutely. And there's been multiple studies. There was a TED Talk years ago on grit, and there's a book called Grit that really goes in and studies what are the common factors and characteristics about people who are successful. And it's rarely the smartest person or the best grades. It's the person that has the most grit, and that's basically determination and resilience. I was in one of the first books that I did was called Resilience, turning your setbacks into a comeback. And it's all about that grit, that dusting yourself off and getting back up. And people that had success, that was the number one most important thing, is that mindset of, life is hard and it hasn't given me what I want. And this situation may suck, but am I going to let it pull me down, or am I going to be very buoyant and resilient? And I thought of, I grew up water skiing. And so you ski around these buoys and, you go over them, they go underwater and they pop back up, and then they go underwater and they pop back up. And that's basically what grit is. It's like, okay, are you going to stay underwater? Are you going to wallow in it? We would say in Texas, you can fall in the mud, but don't wallow in it, so you got to decide, this is hard, but I'm going to bounce back, and I'm going to use this as fuel to help me get stronger. And so that's a big one, Michael. Do people believe that, again, the future can be better and that they have some control? And if they do they believe in themselves enough that I can overcome this challenge? And on that mindset point, I often think, are things happening to me or are they happening for me? And in order to have resilience and grit and hope for the future, you have to have a mindset that says, hey, this is happening for me. This is an opportunity for me to struggle up, to fail forward, to get stronger, to gain wisdom that will make me smarter to be able to handle the next challenge. So it's a huge one.
Yeah, the TED Talk I believe you're referring to is from Angela Lee Duckworth. And I just
Yes.
did a quick search on Instagram because I think what she said is so awesome. I'm going to try to play it. Let's see if the microphone picks it up. Let's get into it.
School?
Oh, where'd it go?
What if doing well in school and in life depends on much more than your ability to learn quickly and easily? I started studying kids and adults in all kinds of super challenging settings. And in every study, my question was, who is successful here and why? In all those very different contexts, one characteristic emerged as a significant predictor of success. And it wasn't social intelligence, it wasn't good looks, physical health, and it wasn't IQ. It was grit. Grit is passion and perseverance for very long-term goals. Grit is having stamina. Grit is sticking with your future, day in, day out, not just for the week, not just for the month, but for years, and working really hard to make that future a reality. What is doing?
That is, I mean, there's some wise words in that. And again, it's consistently showing up. It's knowing it's going to take time. It's going to take years. And when I heard that the first time, it gave me goosebumps because I've always known I'm not the smartest. I'm not the fastest. I'm not the biggest. But you know what? I can work more than the next guy.
Yeah.
And I've always believed that discipline beats talent. I lived my whole 53 years on the notion that I'm more disciplined than nearly 99% of the world. And I will just get it done. And that always made me feel good because that means it's in my control. I wasn't born 6'6" and could jump out of the gym.
Right.
Right. So, I mean, that just makes me feel good because it's in my control. If it's in my control, I have the power. If I wasn't given God-given gifts of 6'6" and could jump out of the gym, what am I just supposed to give up? Right. That speech made me feel, frankly, warm and fuzzy. It's like, all right, it's time to get to work.
Absolutely. And I think, it reminds me of another one is, people that have a poor mindset that holds them back make excuses. I can't. This isn't for things like me. It's hard for me. I'm not good at that. I don't like that. That negativity that again comes back to not believing in yourself, but it consumes every way of your thinking. So are you going to make excuses that I can't play basketball because I'm not 6'6"? I remember when I was young, I loved basketball and I had time to watch basketball, and I loved Danny Ainge. I think he was with the Portland Trail Blazers, but he was a short white guy, right? Yeah. And before the movie White Men Can't Jump came out, but it's like he was a small kid and no one would have thought he could play basketball, but he didn't let being short, comparatively hold him back. And he was one of the best in the NBA. And I see so many people that are like, Anna, I can't do that. I didn't grow up with money. I don't have money. I don't know how to do that. I'm not smart enough like you. I'm not. And it's like, no. If you're not smart enough, go acquire knowledge. If you're not good at it, go do it until you get good at it. If you aren't as positive or disciplined, make a decision that you're going to work on your mindset and that you are going to be disciplined. And so you've got to recognize that your mindset may be holding you back and stop making excuses and instead say, okay, this might be true about me today. But what am I going to do to make it better and grow into the person that can do it, that can become successful?
Yeah, I'm looking up another TED Talk called The Rule of 100. I don't know. Here it is, 18 minutes a day.
100 saints said if you spend 100 hours in a year, it's 18 minutes a day, all of them, in any discipline, karate, violin, piano, whatever. If you spend 18 minutes a day, which is 100 hours a year, you'll be better than 95% of the world in that discipline. It's just the consistency of whatever you do.
That's why I tell people all the time, again, in my world, it was a buy box. And for me, I wasn't smart enough to get it done in 18 minutes. So I needed 20. But again, I did it for 3 years in a row, every freaking day, most of the time, twice a day. And again, you can't help but get better. And again, folks, listen to that. I don't care what you choose to do. If you give it 20 minutes a day for a year, you're going to be better than 95% of the people that are trying to do that thing. It has never been easier to become elite. And if you're in the top 5% of anything, you're elite at that thing. It's just like, how bad do you want it? It's just, how bad do you want it? How much grit do you have? And how bad do you want it?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, along that line, if you really want something, you've got to learn to have a vision and have a plan, right? And so too many people haphazardly say, hey, I want to try real estate. I'm going to try this. And they flip a house and lose money. Like, you know, my husband and I flipped our first house and we lost money on it. And it's like, oh, are we going to say I'm never going to do that again? Or are we going to say, oh, I've learned and I'm going to move on? But you have to have a vision and a plan. You can't just dabble and try and then give up anytime it becomes hard because you think you don't have what it takes, right? And so there's a proverb that says, like, the people perish for a lack of vision. And so you have to say, what do I want? You know, people create vision boards and they can be a powerful reminder of, hey, this is what I want in the future. And then if I want that, you have to back into, what am I going to do? What do I need? What are my big goals that I need, you know, in 5 years to reach it, in 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And then you have to, you know, bite that vision down into bite-sized goals and actually look at it and do something every day. So to your point of 18 minutes a day, are you going to do 18 minutes a day because it feels good, because it's a New Year's resolution and you want to try it? Or are you like committed to, here's my 5-year plan? And don't plan too much beyond 5 years. It's really hard to do that and to see it and make meaningful impact. But most people can say, in 5 years, I want to be here. So where do I need to be in a year? And so if I need to be there in a year, where do I need to be in a month? And what do I need to do to get there? And then just don't overcomplicate it. You know, have a vision, create a plan. And if you can create 2 to 3 actions that you take consistently every single day, or at least, you know, 5 days a week, to make sure that you meet that goal, and then the next goal and the next goal, it's amazing what you can do in a year. And it's incredible what you can do in 5 years. We usually underestimate what we can do if you have a mindset that says, I have a vision, I'm committed to it for 5 years, not for a week or a month or a year, and then create the plan and then just execute that plan every single day. And you will do what's important to you. If you're not willing to do it, it's not really important to you and you're not really committed. And that's a mindset issue that I see a lot of people make, is they're trying it. They're not, you know, Yoda says there is no try, only do. And that's important.
Love that. This is always so much fun with you, Anna. Where can people find you?
Great. You can find me on your show most weeks on social media at Anna Kelly, REI Mom. And if you'd like real estate wealth coaching and consulting, you can book an appointment with me on my website at annakellyinvesting.com.
Very cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you.